Good thing about binge recording and recording in bulk with the Combiner Wars, the way I just ploughed through all that was it allows me time to get a good few feet forward when it comes to my upload schedule, and it allows me to take time off. Brief little moments where I just don't review for a few days, take a break and stuff like that, and still maintain a regular upload schedule. I've been able to do that due to the fact that I'm reviewing Titan's Return now, and Combiner Wars is still uploading as of now. Like real now for me, not now for you. So yeah, I haven't recorded in about a week. Took some time off, focused on other things, had some personal time. Had a few issues and that, but I've been busy. But it's one of those things where I'm able to, I'm allowed the luxury of just stepping away for a few days while my uploads are still happening. In regards to the Titan Return upload schedule, I've come to a decision that I am not going to go every other day, Monday, Wednesday, Friday with Titan's Return. I'm just going to keep it to the Monday and the Wednesday, because there have been times, there's the issue with the Hound release was late for a start because that was due on a Friday. I forgot to upload it. And the problem with that is I work Fridays, I do night shifts on Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So there was no chance for me to get that uploaded in time. So I'm going to skip out the Fridays. By the time you come to this review, you'll have probably already figured this out because there'll have been no Titan's Return on a Friday. I don't know why I'm discussing this now, because this is a Titan's Return review. But yeah, that's just the explanation then. So this works as an explanation as to why there's been no Titan's Return on the Friday, because I want to kind of like give myself that extra bit of space. And Titan's Return, Combiner Wars, you kind of like, I wanted to get like all the teams done quickly. But with Titan's Return, it's like more individuals and stuff like that, and it's allows me to keep that series going a little bit longer, because I don't have much Power of the Primes. So once Power of the Primes is done, then I could go on to Siege, I guess, but there's still not a lot of Siege at this moment. I've also been, I was doing some set designs and just basically wrapping boxes in silver tape to add some extensions to my Cybertron scenes, to my Transformers of Soap stuff. I'm looking forward to getting back into that. I've also been playing WWE 2K19, and I have had in the past a couple of different wrestling channels for the games, and I do want to kind of get back into that a little bit. I'm thinking don't broadcast the weekly shows, but just broadcast a monthly special and then just upload that, or maybe live stream some of the weekly shows. I don't know. If anybody's interested in that, let me know. I'm playing DCU a little bit as well. Shout out to DC Universe Online. Happy birthday, it's their 8th anniversary. I've been playing that game for about, I want to say 6 years now. It launched in 2011. January 2011, I've been playing since about mid to late 2012, so yeah. But no, a while, and I've done a lot of content with the DCUO stuff, and one of their anniversary gifts was a combat rating 210 booster, so that allows me to go and do other content like Earth 3, and it opens up the door for new storylines and stuff like that. So DCUO, the Dark Savior stuff, isn't over, it's just, yeah. I was dabbling with that yesterday, having all these story ideas pop into my head again, and yeah, that should be fun as well. 13, still on the cards, just haven't got around to doing that. I'm in one of those phases where I'm into everything at once, and I do like the diversity of my channel with the Transformers reviews, the Transformers the soap, and the Lego little videos that I do, and 13, my GTA stuff. like the DCUO stuff, the Red Dead stuff that I've got planned, and the wrestling stuff that I want to do as well. They're all things I'm very interested in. They're like my main interests, and it'll be nice to have something that shows a different little part of me across this channel. Because before, when I did the wrestling, it was all they're on separate channels. I was going, well, if you're only here for the wrestling, then that's all you're going to get. If you're only here for the Dark Savior stuff, go to this channel, that kind of thing. But I don't want to do that now. I'm trying to consolidate everything. Hence why the reviews here are on my main channel, not my plus one. Yeah, that's basically where I've been the last week. It won't be a week to you, but to me it's been a week. 7 days. Yeah, so that's a little update. Sorry about that. Just wanted to get that out there. Welcome back to a Titans Return review. I'm Mike Dezaras Prime, and considering I've just done quite a lengthy update at the start of this, we've got 3 figures to cover today. They're all the same character, but still 3 figures, 3 different versions of one of my favourites of the line, Brainstorm. And Brainstorm. And yep, you guessed it, Brainstorm. Now, I've told this story with the highbrow review, I think, that Brainstorm was an exclusive. This one in particular was exclusive to a fucking chemist or something in America, Walgreens. And I was like, well, that's a bit shit. I won't get the 4 bastards that fell out of the sky. But that's fine, I'll just collect what I can. And so I've got my first bastard was Hardhead, and then I got Chrome Dome. I was not going to pass upon Chrome Dome. And then I ended up getting Highbrow. The same day I got Highbrow, I got Weird Wolf, and I already had Skull Smasher. He was my first of Galvatron's 3 bastards, or Scorponok's 3 bastards. And it was like, now I kind of want Brainstorm. This sucks. And Mindwipe, for that matter. Then I looked online, and Kapow had this one. This is the Takara LG Brainstorm, the Legends one, which I don't like that name because, you know, Legends to me is a size class like that big. But, you know, what it's like Grand Maximus is technically a Legends figure. But yeah, this is the one I've got, the Takara version. He is Headmaster's accurate. Let me see if I can get some focus on him. There we go. Well, there's this one doesn't have the mouth plate. He looks the head sculpt's decent. It's he's kind of got one of those, like, he's got one that sort of, I'm a scientist, I don't have time for you, so fuck off and let me science looks on his face, which I dig. Some nice detailing. This is a retool of, I believe, of Blur, or Blur's the retool of him, I don't know. It's quite fascinating, really, because Blur's a car, Brainstorm's a jet. It's another one of those things that's impressed me about this figure is the engineering and ingenuity that went into this to turn it from a car into a jet. When you look at it in the vehicle mode, it's really not that hard, but the fact that they're able to even think of that is just impressive to me. Some nice sculpting. Not so much on the sides, there's holes and everything, you got pegs and shit, ports even. Nice sculpted forearms, and some nice little detailing around the side, in the side boob areas. They're really nicely detailed as well. He has sculpted side boobs. And the nice sculpting on the abdomen. Nice paint detail as well. That isn't sculpted, that's flat, which is kind of strange because I know it's cartoon accurate, but he has cartoon shins. They've actually cell shaded his shins. But again, it looks nice, and you got some decent detailing there as well. And his feet and around the ankles, there's nice little vents around the ankles there. There's little slots. Now the back, he has that massive jet wing, nose, sorry. But that can actually come off and form, as you saw with the other Brainstorms, it can form a side cannon on his arm. We'll have a look at this one again in a sec, properly. I'm just going through them all individually at the minute. So yeah, you can take it off and it reduces, still that little bit, but it reduces the kibble greatly. And then that, he's got like the peg there, and then the port on the side of his forearm, it can just slot in there for like a shield gun combo kind of thing. We'll look at his headmaster, his Titan Master. Because it's a Takara version, he doesn't really have his headmaster doesn't have its own name like the Western versions do. Chrome Dome has Stylor. Hardhead has, I can't remember his name at the minute. I think Highbrow has Furos, doesn't he? I think so. But yeah, in the West, or in the East, sorry, in Japan, they didn't have they weren't individual people, they were the same ones. Like this would be Brainstorm, or Chrome Dome was sometimes known as Chrome when he was his little headmaster. I'm guessing this guy would be known as Brain or Storm. I think I made the joke about Highbrow being known as High. Anyway, let's look at Brainstorm's smaller Titan Master. And I wish I could get focus on this, because I really want to show off that face detail. Because you can tell, just from looking at it, he has a painted helmet and also the painted face, but he also has a painted visor as well. I don't know if you can see the little break in the blue there. It's almost like an H across his face, but he has a painted painted visor as well. There's some great detailing. Again, nice little sculpting down the legs. Chest is pretty plain, but he's got like that little speed, strength, intelligence box on his chest. You can't really see it that well, but are we getting somewhere? No, you can barely make it out. But yeah, it's a decent little Titan Master, this one is. And again, let's have another look at his head. I don't see it that well, but yeah, it's definitely rocking that fuck off and let me science look, which I dig. He's got like that crest on his helmet, not the crest, the piece just below, and that's like shaped to make him look like angry eyebrows, which is quite amusing. But it adds a bit of I don't want to say intimidation factor to him, but it's kind of like, yeah, he's that. Yeah, he looks unamused is the best way to describe him, I think. We'll go points of articulation now, because then I can just get that out of the way. And I'll show off his weapon quickly. All three have the same weapon. It's just a standard rifle. Nothing special. Nicely sculpted, but you know, it's nothing to write home about. Oh, mum, dear mum, Brainstorms rifles the tits. Nah. Points of articulation. Let's have a look. Okay, so head, full 360. Yeah, as expected. Arms can go out. Has he even got these? No, they don't move actually. I thought they moved. It's good job I didn't do that. The wings can shift a little bit. Arms go, like I said, out. They go all the way around. It's a bit of yeah. Upper bicep swivel. Bends at the elbows. He's even got wrist swivel as well, which is something you wouldn't expect considering this part in transformation goes over. I wouldn't have been surprised if they left that moulded, but no, he's got some wrist swivel there. So yeah, good on you, mate. Waist swivel, as you can see. Legs go out, legs go forward, bend at the knees, thigh swivel. You know, all the basic bells and whistles a deluxe figure or any figure above Scout would have. Then again, quite a lot of Scouts have it, don't they? And a little bit of foot motion there as well. So that is the my fucking dressing gown. Do you know what? I'm looking forward to the summer, so I have to wear this fucking thing. And then I won't knock shit over with my big ass sleeves. Yeah, that is the Takara Brainstorm. I'll do a side-by-side comparison before we get into the vehicle as well, but I just want to show off each one on their own. And we'll have a look next at this one that came with the box set that I got that came with Sentinel Prime and Windblade. I've forgotten his fucking Titan Master's name, because these two have the Titan Masters that have the individual names. Both the same name. I looked at this before I came upstairs to record. Tesla. That's the one. Tesla. Probably based on Nikola. Yeah, Brainstorm, the Time to Return box set version. This one has the mouth plate. Let's take his weapons off. The weapons, like I said, are the same. This one has the mouth plate. I can get him into focus. Almost had him then. There we go. Completely different head sculpt compared to the Headmaster's version, the LG one. He looks more intimidating here than he does there. The other one is like, you know, fuck off and let me science. This guy's like, fuck off and let me science, bitch. Yeah. Some nice detailing there. The crest, I like that, and the side vents as well. Just the shape of his head is all around good. It's a very nice head sculpt. He has that sculpted side boobs. It's pretty much, the sculpting's the same across the board with these fellas. That is painted, which, you know, they didn't mold that, which explains why LG Brainstorm has fucking cartoon shins. But yeah, some nice paint detail there. Yeah, it's Takara's pops more, I feel. This one does a great job. It looks great. I believe this one is more accurate to his IDW representation in terms of colour. I may be wrong. It's been a while since I've read the books. Or it could be... I honestly can't... I know one... The Takara one is obviously Headmaster's accurate. I know one's toy accurate. I believe that one's the toy accurate one in terms of colours, and this would be comics or probably Western show accurate. Now you mention it. But it's hard trying to figure out which one's which, because it's not that often you get a toy that, actually it is quite regular, isn't it? You get a toy that isn't accurate to the show or the comics. Ironhide and Ratchet G1, for example. There are plenty of others. Sometimes Chrome Dome has a visor, sometimes he doesn't. Sometimes Brainstorm is baby blue, sometimes he's more of a cyan, and sometimes he's more of a I don't know what that colour is. Hardcore cyan? I don't want to say green, like minty green, probably. Yeah. It's confusing because it's hard to tell which one's which. I know fucking LG is accurate to Headmasters because Headmasters is my canon. There you go, seasons 1, 2, movie 3, then Headmasters, Master Force, Victory for me. But so I don't know which one's accurate to Rebirth and which one's accurate to the G1 toy. That's what I meant when I said toy accuracy, because you're probably thinking, oh, well, of course it's toy accurate. It's the toy. No, I meant the G1 toy. Sorry, I should have been clearer on that. But yeah. Yeah, the sculpting is the same across the board, with the exception of the heads. But still, some nice painted detail. It's more of a flat one. It's like pastel, in a way, or pastel. I'll say pastel because I don't want people thinking, oh, it doesn't look like a fruit pastel. One thing Takara Brainstorm had was that nice fucking orange translucent cockpit. And yeah, it doesn't show very well, but that's a translucent cockpit as well. It's just hard to see because it's black. But yeah, it's still a really nice figure. Like I say, it's more pastel, it's more muted, it's softer than the other two. And yeah, he still looks like fuck off and let me science, bitch. So yeah, he is the more approachable Brainstorm if you've got a question that doesn't pertain to science. Like, if you go and ask him, if my mum fucks your mum, which one's my dad? Then, you know, don't go asking him that, because he will still tell you to fuck off and let him science, but he's probably out of the three the one you would ask that question to if you were going to ask that question. I'm rambling. I haven't been doing this. Like I said, I took a week off, so I'm kind of like just, you know, talking bollocks. I don't know why I brought people's mums into it. But yeah, that is. Let's have a look at his. Let's have a look at Teslor. If I can get him out. There we go. See, Teslor still even has the nice paintwork on the Titan Master. And there's something that the camera most likely isn't going to show up. But let's have a look. See, the sculpting's nice. Still got that block in his chest. I don't know if you can make it out, but the head is like solid blue all around the top. And then you've got the orange face, but you've got a yellow visor. They've done a different colour between the visor and the face. So, yeah, there's some decent attention gone into this as well. I have there, it might be the lighting. I'm pretty sure, if you look at it from a certain angle, it looks the same, but from other areas it looks different. It might be because at the visor line, there's like, they haven't painted it there, so the blue kind of shows up to separate the face from the visor. It might just be that, but I'm pretty certain the visor and the lower face are different colours. I don't know. I may just be seeing things again, like when I thought Ultra Magnus had green eyes. He deceived me for so long with that. So, one last look at his head sculpt. If we can get it focused. Come on. There we are. Lovely. All the ridges and fucking up the top at the middle of his head. In between the crest and the side vents. And then even on the little mouth plate you can see a couple there. Some definite good shit going on there with this head sculpt. Now there is one issue that I have with these figures. All of them. And yeah, the whole thing about Titan Masters is they're interchangeable. And yes, that works here as well. But considering they're three of the same character, you'd think, yeah, I can chop and change the heads all around. It depends how much of a stickler you are for colour continuity. Because we've got pastel, we've got get out. LG, we've got baby blue, we've got pastel, and then we've got minty fresh. It isn't even really that minty, is it? It's more like, it's quite aggressive. But you would think that, you know, you could just be like plonk, 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 plonk and see how they look and just have the time of your lives with them. But let's take Hardcore Mint and put him on baby blue. I mean, looks alright mostly, doesn't it? But it's just when you start to creep around the side a little bit, you've got fucking green there. And yeah, that's a little off-putting to me. Considering you can see the green bleeding out the back of his head there. That's not the best. That's probably the most egregious example. Because you can put pastel on Hardcore Mint, and there isn't that much of a discrepancy. Well, you can still see the blue a little bit, but it's less harsh compared to having minty green on a baby blue body. There you are, see? Doesn't look too bad there, does it? So that works. Also, you could have his head on the pastel body. Baby blue on pastel, but again, it's a little bit harsh, a bit of a contrast there. It's not as bad as Hardcore Mint on baby blue, but it's still a bit... But it's not a major complaint. I'm not going to be a proper bitch about it, but let's have a look at Hardcore Mint on pastel just to show the contrast there. Yeah, I'm not going to be a bitch about it. I'm just, you know, highlighting that little issue that, well, yeah, check that. Yeah, that's a bit much, isn't it? It's just one of those things where, you know, the 4 Optimus Primes I've got, they can be, if you've got the Power Master Optimus Prime and even Super Jinrai, you could swap the heads on that, no problem. You could swap the heads on Power Master and the Voyager Prime. You could swap the head with Orion Pax even, and Leader or Voyager Prime. It starts to fall apart a bit there. I'm not including Laser Rod Prime because that's a completely different colour scheme, but you can pretty much mix and match all those heads. With Brainstorm, it takes a lot more work and a lot of hiding the back of his head. Anyway, Walgreens exclusive. I kind of went off on one there, and I'm sorry. I've been going for half an hour here already. Fuck me. Well, Titan's return won't take as long, he said. This is the Walgreens one, the one I believe that is the toy accurate one. The G1 toy accurate one. Obviously it's toy accurate. It's accurate to itself in that sense, isn't it? This one, if I can get a focus on, let's take all the weapons off. That might be fucking causing a problem. Come on. You almost had it there, didn't you? I think my next review is Astra Train. And then the review after that is 6-Shot and Quick Switch, so that will probably be a long one. But I'm doing those together because it's not going to be worth it to... The reviews would pretty much be identical, save for... Oh, we've got different paint. There we go. Yeah, this is the Walgreens one. It looks like he's got the same head sculpt, like the main head sculpt. Obviously different colouring on the body. He's got the same sculpting on the arms. Like I said, the sculpting's the same across the board. Sculpted side boobs, sculpted abs. No painted abs though. But I don't mind that here. You've got a nice yellow cockpit window tip there. You've got the grey on lighter grey on the arms, and down here you've got similar sort of design but ultimately different because box set Brainstorm has the I know what they're going for. They're going for stickers, aren't they, there? That's got to be what they're going for, sticker effects. It's kind of neat, I guess. Yeah, some nice, again, nice sculpting. It's all the same, but it's all very nice. I feel like this one pops a little bit more because he has that heavy, hardcore mint paint scheme, and he also has paint on the front side of his wings, which is something the others lack. Takara Brainstorm has Autobot insignias on the other side for vehicle mode, but yeah, they all lack paint except for this one on the wings, or detail on the wings, which kind of makes up for the lack of abdominal paint. Let's have a look at his Tesla. And this Tesla has the visor and the face paint, lower face are the same colour. It's pretty much the same sculpting, I believe. But yeah, not going to get much more focus than that, I don't think. And then one last look at his head separate from the body. Ah, my elbow, sorry. Leaning in is really starting to cause issues to my body. There we go. Same sculpting jobby as the box set Brainstorm, with the vents and the ridges down his crest and in the mouth plate as well. It's a decent job. Yeah, I like these figures. So much I got 3 of them. It was just like one of those things where I was like, the first one I got, because I wanted a Brainstorm just to finish off the 4 bastards. The second one I got, it was on offer, and also I wanted a Brainstorm with a mouth plate. Because I prefer mouth plates over non-mouth plates. If a character has a mouth plate, I'd rather they had the mouth plate. So yeah, that's why I got the box set one. And this one I saw at TFN. Considering how hard it was supposed to be in the US to get, I'm surprised how many they had. And at a decent, I think it's 15 quid, so you know, a decent price for it. So I was like, yeah, I'll get that. And now I have 3 Brainstorms. 4 if you include the Generations Voyager, which I haven't got out for comparison because I'd be here all night. Anyway, speaking of comparisons, let's have a look at them all side by side and get a better look at them together. Okay, so there they are all together. You've got left to right Walgreens, Takara, and then the box set. And as I mentioned before, Walgreens has the painted sticker detail on the wings that Takara and box set are lacking. Sculpting detail is the same on the wings. The heads are obviously different. We can get a good look at how different they are there, especially Takara and Walgreens. Let's just swap Walgreens and box set over for a second. Well, I could keep them that way, doesn't really make any difference. But yeah, same heads for just different painted mouth plates, and obviously different painted torsos for the little guys. But yeah, same heads for Walgreens and box set. Side boob sculpting is all the same. Like I said, all the sculpting is going to be pretty much identical on all of these guys. It's mainly like paint differences, and if you look there, you've got how well you can see it, but there's an Autobot symbol underneath the cockpit on Walgreens Brainstorm. These two, well, he does. The Hasbro Walgreens and Takara have the Autobot insignias. Box set one doesn't. He has a little Autobot insignia there, though. Don't know how well that's going to show up. It's not showing up very good there, is it? Yeah, you can just see it there. I can't get a good look at it. The legs all painted differently. It's weird because he looks like he has less paint, but I don't think he does. Or if he does have less paint, they've made up for it in other areas. Like a better Autobot symbol there. Box set doesn't have one. Painted wings, and neither of the other two have the painted wings on the robot front side. And he's lacking paint on the legs, with the exception of the sticker effect detail there. You've got the pastel blue, and then the sticker effect again for that Brainstorm, the box set one. He's even got the thrusters there are painted on the tips, as are Takara's, and he's got his like weird fucking cartoon sticker shins as well. And also, if you look at the different, they all seem to have different, like the main bodies are different colorations as well. But this one seems to have more of a beige grey. It's probably the best way to describe it. And it's also one more thing to point out quickly. He has green fists, but this one has fists that match his forearms. Black fists on white arms there. But back to the colours, it's these two seem to have the same coloration in the limbs. I don't know, this one seems a bit more beige to me. It might just be the lighting. I don't know. Or it might be the contrast between the colours, because box set Brainstorm is got a softer colour scheme overall. It's less harsh. So it tends to all just meld together and a bit better maybe. Whereas this has got like the harsh fucking Listerine green mouthwash fucking vibe going on there. And then you've got soft colours around the outside. It might just be that's making it look a little bit different. Because like I said, colour combinations can make sometimes it makes a colour seem different in comparison with the same colour on something with a different colour combination. Case in point, these two. They look, for all intents and purposes, to be the same colour, but I don't know. I think it's something about fucking hardcore mint with those beigey greys that causes a different contrast when compared with powder blue, pastel blue with those beigey greys. Or maybe that isn't even beigey grey. It looks it from where I am. But, I could be wrong. And then Takara Brainstorm is just white, blue, black. Really pops beautifully, that one does. Like I said, I prefer mouthplate Brainstorm. I wish I could put one of those two heads on there without there being that weird ass fucking back of the head contrast. But yeah, it's fine for what it is. It's an issue with me mainly. Anybody else could do it. I would probably swap those two heads. But that's just me. That one would fit better, I believe. Let's have a look now, actually. Stand up. So I don't think I did pastel on Takara. Oh. Oh, bollocks. Just a sec. Got it. It's going back now. Just need to let it focus a bit. But yeah, that isn't too bad. I mean, you can't really, you can tell. I can tell, but then again, I'm looking for it at the minute. But that kind of works. Quite like that. But I'm a stickler for you know, originality and shit like that, so I probably will end up swapping them back. But yeah, it's I think there's a set you can get that has like the different heads for like chrome dome, hard head, and that. And I think there's one that matches one of these with the like the Takara one with the mouth plate. Maybe, I don't know. I'll have to look into that, see if it's still available. But yeah, that's all the comparisons with the robots. You know, different paint schemes, different heads. That's pretty much all it is. But they're all still, you know, cracking figures. I'm going to swap their heads when I stop rolling, so that's why he's decapitated at the minute. Yeah, that's it for the robot reviews. I'm going to get into vehicle mode. That should be a lot quicker. So it's a day after I started the review. I had trouble with one of the Brainstorms, transforming it. The legs wouldn't go together properly into the little jet mode. I was getting agitated, so I just stepped away. It's been a hell of a couple of days because I forgot to set part 4 of my Menosaur review on schedule, and that went through on that just went public straight away before part 3. And then I checking out comments on part 3, which uploaded today as of this recording, and part of the first 5 minutes of the video is fucking upside down because I record on my camera phone because it's long ways. I need to flip the video footage when I'm in editing, and I forgot to do the first bit, so I had to fucking edit that. But what I didn't realise was in overwriting the original one, copying over the original one, I lost the footage and it just came out as a blank screen, so I had to download the video from YouTube again, cut it, flip it around, re-edit, re-upload. It's all been a bit hectic, and so I figured we'll come back to this. We'll get this Brainstorm review done, and I've got them all transformed now, so we're good to go. Interesting thing, I'll get into it in more detail. What the fuck is that? He has landing gear on the top. Why? Why is there landing gear on the top? Now, I thought I'd mistransformed this again, but no, because the cockpit, it's there. You could rotate the waist, but that won't. This is the right transformation. The wheels are underneath, and yet there's landing gear on top. I don't know, where's Blur and Nautica? Because this is fucking mental. Is that Blur over there? Yeah, this is Blur. He's got the same thing. He's got landing gear on top of his car mode. That's strange. I don't fully understand that, if I'm honest. But yeah. Top landing gear aside, in case it decides to fall and land that way, for some reason, I don't know. It's thrown me for a loop, that has, already. I've just sorted out the transformation I was figuring out, and there's like, top landing gear? That's strange. This is the jet mode, which is this is the chemist one, which is, it's a retool of Blur and Nautica, or maybe Nautica came late, I don't know. But yeah, it's like a little hover jet sort of thing. It's quite nice. I quite like it. It's nice and sleek and compact, and the transformation's fun when you don't have to deal with the fucking legs fucking around with you. It is I do like it. I like the robot mode is fucking great. The fucking vehicle mode is great. I wasn't really that interested in Blur at first, because I'm not really interested in Blur as the character. He's supposed to be like Transformers' answer to the Flash, I guess, or Quicksilver, and I just found him annoying. But getting this, and I was like, well, I wonder what Blur's like, because it's a car, not a jet. So I picked up Blur. Blur's nice as well. I like Blur. But yeah, that's this is the Walgreens one. It's very vibrant, white at the back with the grey wings and side pieces and those vents in the shoulders and the gun on the front. You can attach the other little gun that he's got to either hole in his arm, in the forearm area, underneath. Yeah. Honestly, the fists are the only real obvious bit. That's how I look at it. Feet are there, but you've got to look for those things. Yeah, you put the gun in the side there for extra warrior bastardry or something. Wouldn't this be his fucking where his Titan Master would sit when he's in his robot mode? No. Because they all have fucking Titan Master things, don't they? See, now I'm curious. I'm just gonna... Let's use Blurs for an example, actually, while I've got him at hand. I'm going off on this review's taking fucking ages, isn't it? And I'm sorry for that. I don't know, actually. I'm not even supposed to be reviewing Blur yet. I mean, what even is that supposed to be? This is a strange one. The Titan Master, I believe, just using Blur as an example so I don't have to fucking retransform Brainstorm in that, sits in there, and then Blur's is a bit shit, so I'm gonna set him aside for now. Yeah, as you can tell, there was a camera cut there. I ran out of memory on my phone, so I had to go and transfer what I had and then come back. But I wanted to keep continuity, so in the meantime, I can transform Brainstorm a bit. Again, Brainstorm has the guns, which is fine. Is it a sled? Is that what it is? Is it a sled? Like, that's the only thing I can justify with Blurs, because Blurs is like fucking, Brainstorm's got the guns, and yes, it can plug into Fortress Maximus and stuff, they both can, but what's Blur gonna do? Just sit there and watch? He got his like popcorn, he's like, I just gave me to read the comments, and fucking shit. Or whatever John Machita Jr. does. The only thing I could think, Brainstorm makes sense for a sled because they buried Galvatron in the ice and he might want to celebrate by going sledding. I don't know. It's bizarre. It's an odd one, this. Where's his gun? Give me his gun. Let me see. Because there's nowhere for the gun to plug into in this mode or on Blurs, so it's sort of like, why? Because Brainstorm can't even fucking, you can't put the gun in there. Brainstorm's got the guns, fair enough. He can like plug into Fortress Maximus, shoot bitches. He can ride down a snowy mountain and shoot Galvatron and bury him in the ice and shit. That's honestly the only thing I can think of. It's a sled. Yeah, fucking sled. And it doesn't even make sense to be like a mounted cannon for Brainstorm's robot mode or anybody else's robot mode, because we've got him slightly mistransformed, but that's his arm. I mean, I guess that works. You know, he's like that, holding it like that. That could work, I guess, but it's not the best use of a weapon, and the fucking, yeah, that whole Titan Master fucking guns become like little cockpit seat things for the Titan Masters and shit. It's not, really isn't the best use of that fucking stuff. That is probably the only issue I have with the figure, and that is, it's just one of those oddities. It's just really strange, and it feels like it's out of place. I mean, yeah, if you want to fucking like bang bang bitch fucking with this on the side, then yeah, fill your boots. Landing gear, I guess, makes a sled, but again, with, I just don't get it with Blur. I mean, he's gonna sit there on someone else's arm. I mean, I know the scale's shit there. And do what? What's he gonna do? It just, I mean, Brainstorms, oh shit, yeah. The landing gear thing, I realised, is so you can actually pop the Titan Master in and sit him in snug. Once you push the landing gear up, the Titan Master pops out. But yeah, I'll get back to Blur on the proper review, and maybe have another moan about it then, because it really is strange to me. I don't know when Blur's review comes up. It's be interesting to see what Nautica's is like as well. I've got Astro Trade next, and then Six Shot and Quick Switch. Titan Masters can sit in the cockpits as usual, just in there. And you need to bend the knees for these boys. You bend the knees and just slot them in, like so. And then you push the cockpit down. And you got a nice little fucking Titan Master sat in his little jet. Just, it's not a commercial jet, doesn't need to be big, does it? Let's take a look at the Takara one, the one that caused me issues, and see how he stacks up. I probably won't do the comparison over there because this has gone on long enough. I'll just show it here as it is. It's the same thing. He has the weird ass fucking brick. This version came with the little where is it? Because I forget about this, because this version came with that as well. The little mini hover bike tanky thing that also, I believe, turns into a mini buggy type thing. Yeah, I'm not going to go into too much detail about that, because it's like, I still don't know if I've figured these things out properly. Then you've got the, I believe that's the gun mode. But yeah, it's a decent little thing. It's like you've got the nice little Autobot symbol there. So, which begs the question, which way is the right way? Because hover bikey thingy, I think, I don't know. I think the hover bike goes that way, actually, because then you've got the Autobot symbol there. I never could figure this out properly. I've got Brawn, who came with one of these, and it's like fucking, I'll go into more detail with that when I do the Brawn review, because I've got like 3 little Chomper Brawn and fucking Spanky Wanky or whatever. There's a Decepticon one as well. I'll learn his name before I do the review, obviously, but I'll get to that in more detail when I show the review for that Brawn. So, yeah, Brainstorm's nice colour scheme with his baby blue, I believe I called it yesterday. And yeah, his white and black. It's a nice colour scheme, this. I like this little jet mode. The layout of it, the blue, black and white all complement each other nicely, and they're separated nicely enough as well. It does roll because it came from Blur, so you know it has the rolling wheels underneath. But yeah, again, you've got little not Teslor in there, just sat there piloting his little space jet thing. So it's neat. Like I said, the this little target master thing is the only thing I find strange. It's not too bad on Brainstorm, because at first I thought when you plugged it into the arm he'd be at a side slant, but he isn't. So yeah, it's not too bad for Brainstorm. It's weird for Blur, because what the fuck is it? This Blur review is going to be... I've pretty much covered it all here, haven't I? It's fine, because I've got to do Nautica with the Blur review as well, so not do Nautica, but you know what I mean. And then we got the box set one, which definitely the more muted of the bunch, the more subtle one, you might say, the more still approachable one. Interesting thing to note with these is that this one seems the better painted when it gets to his vehicle mode, because he has the same, like similar paint applications, but he also has the silver thruster booster things there. They're painted silver, which is a nice little touch. On the top, he's got the little bit of that like powder blue there, and then the grey all the way down, with the exception of the joint pieces there that are a different colour, which actually helped to break it up a little bit, I think. And then he's got the painted grey cannons at the end. Yeah. This one kind of suffers a little bit in vehicle mode, because that extra detail that they put onto the wings with the sticker effects and that, it's none of that on there. He's got his little Autobot symbols on the wings, and that's it. And there's no paint on the back. The fin is the same, like grey plastic. But yeah, his thrusters aren't painted, his guns aren't painted. So yeah, it's kind of he's got that fucking hardcore mint green thingy colour going on there, so yeah, he pops at least. And then Takara Brainstorm, again, I'm surprised with this, to be honest. Kind of scrimps on the paint again in jet mode. Black, no paint on the gun tips. He's got a full like black stripe down the back there, where the fin is, as opposed to a little bit there, or fuck all. So that's a nice touch. But yeah, the front and those bits, you know, it's cartoon accurate. And if Brainstorm had blue cannons in the cartoon, then he would have blue guns here as well. But yeah, I'm surprised with however, I will say, again, if you look at this one, just there, those ridges right below my finger aren't painted. At least on Takara, they are painted white, which is another neat little way to break up the colour. And they're painted on the box set one as well. I mean, with the box set Brainstorm, you'd expect, you know, premium paintwork, and you know they have delivered here. And the colours don't pop as well, but there is more paint work and stuff. The coloration and the actual paint scheme, disregarding what colours they are, is actually probably the best one of the bunch. Takara, surprisingly, is not the best one of the bunch. It's second, and that's just in terms of like paint applications, not colour or something. In terms of colour, I think I like this one the best, because I just like that blue, white and black, the way it just all, it's fucking, the way it all just complements each other really nicely. It's great. And then this one is kind of like, it was a standard release that was hard to get. But again, robot mode, decent, with the extra like sticker effect, bells and whistles shit. So all in all, I'm going to wrap up here. I will go over there just to give you a quick look at them. Because I have been just like up and down, showing them. So I'll let you have a bit of a prolonged look at them while I do my sign off. So yeah, there's a quick look at all of them together. As you can see, the box set Brainstorm has the silver paint there and the painted gun tips there, and a little bit of green at the back just there. And again, those joint pieces there break up all that grey that goes down that bit there. This Brainstorm has that little bit too. Break up all that grey that goes down there. No colour on the back, bar the fin. But does it need it? Really? I don't know. I'd argue it's fine as it is. Maybe it looks a bit plain at the back compared to the other two, but that's compared to the other two. If you've only got this one, you know, be happy with it, because it is a fucking cracking figure. The landing gear bits are a different colour as well, which, you know, that helps, I guess, to break up the nose, especially on this one and this one, because those two are solid colours all the way through. So a little bit of colour there kind of helps it. It breaks it up a little bit. Oh, that one's obviously got the painted guns. This one hasn't. This one, like I said, has the break-up colour there. I've probably mentioned that. This one has it as well, but sort of only half, because it's white. Because this Brainstorm has different paint on there, doesn't have the silver thrusters, but he has black tips, and then there's the white, and then there's the black wings as well. So, and then the black there. So yeah, again, very nice colour scheme. So maybe they haven't bitched out on the paint as much, because those have the same colour all the way through, but this one doesn't. So yeah. Then obviously painted there, not painted there, and painted there. So yeah, all in all, I would say if you can get hold of one of these, because none are easy to come by really. One's a Takara exclusive, one's a Walgreen exclusive, or Walgreens. The other one came with a box set. I can't remember what the box set was called. Probably just Titan's Return. But there were plenty of these at TF Nation, so there might still be plenty of those this year. I would highly recommend this figure. It's a fucking beautiful figure. The vehicle mode's great. The gun mode not so much. The weird little fucking nose cone gun thing. It's like I said, it's worse on Blur. The robot modes are great. I really do like that they're solid. They feel good. Some figures you get and they don't quite feel right. This feels right. And all in all, great job with these figures. 11 out of 10. I might have stole it off someone, I don't know. But yeah, that's my review for Titan's Return Brainstorm. It's been a long one. Sorry about that, but yeah, there was the intro where I did a little bit of explanation and stuff like that, and then there's figuring shit out, and you know, there's 3 versions of these to go through, and it's not 3 straight repaints, because the heads were different as well, and I had a bit of fun playing around with the heads and seeing what worked and what didn't. But yeah, I'm going to wrap it up here. My next review will be Astro Train. You shall see me then.